guys, welcome back. So today is another Mommy Chronicles, and I will be talking about some of my fantasies and realities when I had my children. So let's jump right in, guys. So throughout my pregnancy up until the point when I had my kids, I had this book called, and I'm sure every mother on this planet must have read, What to Expect When You're Expecting. Now that book, it had a lot of information from it told you about from the time of conception, what was happening to your body, the changes that your body would go through, and a little of what to expect after you've had your child. And I read that book from front to back. Like literally I would just keep reading over and over and over again because I was so super excited and so scared at the same time. So a lot of the stuff in the book, like, sometimes it's good to know, sometimes it's not good to know, because especially when it came onto some of the issues that you can have with your pregnancy, like it can scare you like out of this world. So some of the things in that book, no, let me correct that. Majority of the things in that book, what it told you would expect to experience when you're in your pregnancy, like, oh no, I'm still waiting to experience them. So one of the things for me that was a fantasy in my head, and what the book also told me about, is a newborn baby would feed probably every 2 to 4 hours. On average, 2 to 4 hours, your newborn baby would need milk, right? Literally for me, with my son, it was like every 10 minutes. Like, there is legit truth to boys, like, feed harder and a lot more than girls. I'm telling you, like, it was crazy. So like every minute I'd have to be breastfeeding, and I don't know, it said that you could put yourself on a schedule. Like, oh no, I'm still waiting on that schedule, because I don't know, for me it was hard to put myself on a schedule, especially with the fact that I had a C-section and I was just in pain and recovery and everything. Like, I could not fit myself into a schedule. So thank God for my mother, who was there to help me 24/7. Like, I don't know what I would do without her. It made things a little bit easier. So that was the first thing. You can put yourself on a schedule. Lies. So I don't know if that works for anybody else, but for me that was like, hell no, I could not do that. Because for the first week it would be probably like 2 hours, and then he would flip the script on me and it would be like every 3 hours. So I would literally go through my day thinking, okay, every 2 hours I'm going to have to come and do this. So in the meantime I can go ahead and I can take a bath, or I can... No, that never happened with me. So that was number one. Number two, I think for me that one would have to be my breastfeeding issues. No, reading on the internet and everything, I saw a lot of persons say, oh, my boobs are too small, so I'm not going to be able to produce enough milk. Once again, that was like fictional. I was like fantasy, because I would sit down and be like, oh my god, my boobs are too small, I'm not going to be able to feed my child, what am I going to do? I'm going to have to bottle feed, and I didn't want to bottle feed. And so it was that one thing that was just always constantly in the back of my head, like, am I going to be able to feed my child? So of course, when the time actually came, and along with that, like, I heard that the latching on and that first, breastfeeding session with your child is going to be the most difficult. Like, that was probably like the easiest thing for me with my son, actually, because I don't want to lie, my daughter was a little bit different. She was actually in IC, so I actually didn't get my first breastfeeding session with her. She had to be fed through a tube. And because of that, her latching on was a little bit different, and she never actually got that first intimate, connection, touch thingy with me that you should do with your child when they're born. So she spent most of the time in IC and NICU, sorry. And I didn't get that session with her. So when I finally got to hold her and breastfeed, it was a challenge. And at that point in time, that's when I started to get sore, cracked nipples, and that shit hurts like a... yeah. So that one was difficult, but with my son it was easy. Latching on wasn't any issue or anything like that. It was good for me. So that would probably be my second, thinking that my breasts were too small to breastfeed my children, when actually size has nothing to do with it. The more the baby sucks, the more milk your breasts produce. I know that there are other issues that can affect your milk production, but for me, I didn't have any issue with that. Once they sucked, they got their milk. That just sounded so wrong, but yeah, so that one for me was number two. Number three, for sure. Number three, my fantasies were that I needed everything for my first baby. So like, it was a nightmare, because I had the bassinet, I had a changing table, I had a big baby bag, a small baby bag, a medium baby bag. I had bibs and throwovers, and it was just a disaster. Like every store, a baby store that I went to, like I literally had like a anxiety attack or something. Like I just had to get this, I had to get that, and it was just driving me crazy. Like it drove my kids that crazy too, because I'd always be like, I need to get this, I need to get that. Oh my god, can you guys get this for me? So it was crazy. So I didn't need half of the stuff that I actually got for my first pregnancy, because my son literally was right beside me in the bed. Like I didn't move at all. As I said, I was recovering from C-sections and stuff. It's kind of hard to move around. So he was literally just right there, just pop that boob out, and that was it. And I must say, like, I am so happy that I'm actually living in a country where breastfeeding is not an issue. Because like I see, on social media and on the internet that, lots of women are being attacked and being, shamed on because of something God gave us women, that it's the way we feed our child or children. And I don't see what's so wrong with it. Like, I would be out in public with my kids, and the moment they start crying, I just pop it out and nothing's wrong. And to know, like, some countries, you pop your boob out, like, you probably get stoned to death or something. Like, I don't know if it's that extreme, but I mean, people frowning and looking on you and giving you those nasty faces, like, that's so cruel, guys. Like, I can't imagine living in a country where something like that happens. Like, I would just go crazy. That's my source of nutrients and food for my child. Like, why is it such a big issue? Like, I just don't understand. So I'm really happy that I live in a country where breastfeeding is accepted. So back to what I was saying. Yeah, so half of the stuff that I got, I really did not need. Things that I definitely needed were my Pampers, the wipes, definitely my baby bag, and pinondas and onesies, and what else? And blankets. Like, that alone will get you through probably the first 2, maybe 3 months after having your child. Like, the amount of money that I spent on even buying baby products, like, I used to stick with Johnson's, and then what's that other brand? Simple came out, and like I was like, oh my god, I had to get Simple, because Simple was supposed to be vegan or non-hypoallergenic or whatever it is. I just had to get it. And it was the same thing with baby bottles too. Like, when my kids started bottle feeding, that was probably like either the 5th or 6th month. I breastfed exclusively until, I don't want to lie, if it's not the 5th, then the 6th month of after pregnancy, after I gave birth, that I started to bottle feed. And then that was the other tantrum as well with me, because every time I went to the baby store, every time I went to the supermarket and I saw baby bottles, like, it would just say something to just grab me, like, you needed this because this nipple wouldn't give the baby air in its stomach, or needed this because it had a bag inside. And it was just like, oh my god, here I am purchasing bottles upon bottles upon bottles all over again. So I think that one was a roller coaster ride for me. And like, these companies, they do such a great job of convincing you that you need this. You need this nipple in this bottle because that's what's best for your baby. And you need this because that, and like, it would just play with your brain so much. You had to get it. So yeah, that was a struggle for me, for sure. Another fantasy, this is not another fantasy either. It's more like a myth, right? Like, in Jamaica, they normally say when you have your newborn baby, you need to put on a red string on their hand, or is it their foot, or open a Bible and leave it at their head, wherever they sleep. Like, really? Seriously? Like, that's so dumb. Like, here's my belief on that one, right? If something like that is supposed to happen, I think where that power comes in is when you believe. I do believe that your energy and your thinking allows things to happen, right? That's my belief. So no matter how much string you tie on, no matter how much Bible you put on the baby head, that go do nothing. You understand? You cover your child under prayer, and you live in a righteous lifestyle, you live in a good lifestyle. Nothing can happen. You see me? It's when you put your mind and how you live and your energy that you put towards those things. If you put your belief towards those things, then that's when shit happens. So that was another one. Like, I know a lot of persons were saying, oh, make sure the baby boy, you put one red scrunchie on the baby hand. Like, nah, it ain't gonna happen. I ain't gonna be tying no red ribbon, no string, no Bible. No, it's not going to happen. I would never do that on my child. Just cover my child on a prayer, and I'm good. That's all that I needed. I'm a tea person. I love tea. So I'm always going to be drinking tea. I don't know, or maybe I'm British. I don't know. I'm joking. For me, another fantasy that I had in my head, it's not really a fantasy either, it was more like a precaution. They used to say that when you're putting your baby down to sleep, you should never put your baby on its back, right? His or her back. It just sounds so anyway. So for me, I had my children sleeping on their back, on their belly, on their side, and it didn't do anything. I mean, I'd always ensure that before I put them down, you know, I give them a proper burp, and nothing actually happened. So I don't know, I don't think there's any truth to that. I think where the truth comes in is if, you know, after you feed your child and you don't burp them properly and they, you know, then of course your child can probably choke and stuff. But I think if you burp them properly, then what the hell. And then again, after the first month and of recovery and stuff, and I let my kids sleep in their bassinet. My bassinet was kind of like it was huge, like a crib, so it was kind of like a slash crib too. But anyway, it had this feature where you could have the baby lying down flat, or it could be like tilted. So I had the sleeping part always tilted. So I don't know, maybe that's what helped as well, I'm not sure. But I just always ensured that I would burp my kids before I put them down, so that if anything came back up, you know, they wouldn't choke or anything like that. And you know, I've read a lot of stuff online that even if your child was supposed to spit up or whatever, like, it's just a natural reflex for the baby to spit it out. So I don't know, I've never heard of any cases where a child choked like that. I'm not sure, but for me that wasn't an issue. So that was my reality, like, make sure you burp the baby them good before you put them down. So yeah, I think those were my only, you know, fantasies and actual realities when it came to my kids. I don't think I have any others, but if I do happen to, you know, come across some more in my head, I will definitely be doing another video on this topic, guys. I try and keep my videos a bit shorter, but you know, first time YouTuber, you know how that goes. So once again, guys, thank you so much for watching. Please, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to share it, drop your comments below, or follow me on my social media pages, which will be in the description box. Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, guys, I am available, so don't be afraid to give me a follow, pop some questions, whatever it is. And don't forget to subscribe, guys. Please subscribe to my channel and get yourself glued on with those notifications, so as soon as I upload a video, you guys will definitely know. Thanks again, guys. I love you guys so much. Bye, guys.